about the value of a property to anyone, because we are not an appraiser, we don't have the license, and we don't have the education, and we don't have the qualification. So you cannot provide your opinion to anyone regarding this matter. Okay? Broker or salesperson shall not provide an opinion or shall advise value of a real estate to any person unless the broker or salesperson has education, so unless you have a appraisal license. Next thing we are talking about, a client is asking you for a signed written appraisal. So there are two questions you have to ask yourself. Do I have the appropriate education, or do I have the earned admission required to pay for the insurance? Because maybe you have the education, but you don't have a license. Guys, insurance for appraisers are normally, it's about $5,000 a year. So it's very high. So even though we have some salespeople that they have the education and they have the license for appraisal, but they cannot practice because they don't have the insurance. So you have to ask yourself two questions. In the exam, they say the bank manager is asking you to appraise a property because they want to do the power of sell. You guys with me? So, and you don't have the education and you don't have the insurance to do that. So, and then another point that you need to know, guys, read this part. A registrant shall advise a client or customer to obtain service from another person if the person is not able to provide the service with reasonable knowledge. And you don't have that because you don't have a license, so you have to ask them to go to the appraiser. Okay? Come on. So, come here. So, then the Appraiser Institute of Canada. So basically this is an institution that protects the public. So this is like our RICO, that they protect the public. Not important, just know it. Then Accredited Appraisal Canada Institute, they award designations to you. So which is again not important. The one that's important is a Canadian National Association of Real Estate Appraisers, that they regulate and they award designation. The designation that's important is a DAR and DAC. DAR is a designated appraisal real estate residential, and then it's commercial. DAC is commercial. So it was a highlight added to the highlights because someone came back and they said about municipal assessors, which they are not appraisers, they're assessors. So they assess the value of your property. They don't appraise it. So there's an institute that gives them a license to assess the value. Assessment is for property taxes. Then we're going to talk about Real Estate Institute of Canada, REIC. This is for real estate salespeople. This is the educational hand of Korea. So please write down. This act as an educational arm of Korea. For example, Oriya has Oriya College. Korea has REIC. I'm sorry? REIC is the educational hand of Korea. So they give you the designation, so like FRI, which is not important. Just know there is such a designation. You just need listen. Don't write anything. So the MVA, residential designation. So this is a designation that whoever passed the appraisal class with Oriya before 2007, there are some salespeople that they passed this class and they got designation of MVA. They could designate up to two. They could appraise up to 2 units. Put a circle on the 2 units here, guys. You see? So they could appraise up to the 2 units. Okay, residential. So they could only do residential, and they could only appraise up to 2 units. So they call them MVA designation. Okay. MVA designation is whoever passed the course before 2007, and they are not offering that course anymore. But the ones that they already passed and have the designation, they could use it. So up to how many units? Commercial or residential? Residential. Perfect. That's in the exam. That's what I'm emphasizing. So AVMs, automated valuation models. These are softwares. So what happens? The softwares, they appraise the value, they assess the value of your property by softwares. Now, the problem with the softwares is that some mortgage brokers, they lie to the bank and they say, oh, you know what, my house is 4-bedroom, but it's actually 3-bedroom. So the question in the exam is, what could be a problem with using AVM? So write that down, please. What could be a problem with using AVMs? Okay, and the highlight is the answer. There is some concern that increased use of AVMs creates added opportunity for mortgage fraud. That's normally in the exam. So next we move to the next highlight. So the form report. So this is the cheaper than a narrative report. So appraisers, when they are writing the report, they could use a form report. The form report is cheaper than the narrative report. But this is definitely in the exam. And what they're asking you, when can you use a form report? And the answer is the highlight. Value of a single family homes, duplexes, threeplexes, and fourplexes. So up to 4plex you could appraise, and only residential, where the purpose of appraisal is for financing, put a line under financing, relocation, capital gain, and estate sale, and matrimonial split ups where there will be out of court settlement. So if they're not going to go to court, they could use the form report, which is cheaper. So again, only up to 4plex, and only for these reasons they could use it, and only for residential. So no commercial, no industrial, nothing. So 11 pages from here, they're going to explain the narrative report. So don't read anything in between. Go to the narrative report. So the narrative report is important as well. So what is the narrative report used for? For apartment buildings, offices, commercial building, industrial building, and any agricultural land for any purpose. So you need for any purpose for them, even for financing, for anything you have to get that. But for a single family homes, duplex, triplex, and fourplex, where the purpose would be going to court or legal proceedings, you need to have a narrative report as well. So for any court, doesn't matter what's the property, you need to have a narrative report, which is more expensive. So let's go to the letter of opinion. This is the cheapest one. So you don't want it for the narrative report. You don't want it for anything. You have a piece of land in Muskoka and you want to know what's the value. So, but appraiser, there are 8 steps of doing an appraising a property. The first 7 step is finding the value. So, and the 8th one is writing the report. So basically, in the exam, they say that to give the letter of opinion, so the appraiser doesn't have to go through the 7th step, which is a wrong statement. So it doesn't matter how he's going to write it, he has to still go through the 7 steps and find a value. So the letter of opinion is a brief, unsubstantiated statement of appraisal's opinion of a value or value range. Must still be conducted. So he has to still go through the 7 steps to give that. Letter opinions are usually not accepted by lending institutions. You have a land somewhere, you want to put a value on it for yourself. You don't want it for anything. No court, no financing. Just yourself want to know how much is the value. So value, what's value? Something that's valuable for me it may not be valuable for you. So if it is a specific, is a value. If most people like it or most people dislike it, that's going to be a principle. Principle means something that's valuable for everyone or most people. Okay? So in the exam, the question is asking you what real estate value or real estate principle applies for this scenario. They're going to give you a scenario, so you have to find out which one they're talking. So if it's a specific, if it's applying for most people, that's going to be one of the principles. So let's go one by one. We're going to talk about objective value. Objective value is normally in the mind of the seller, because they want to know how much their house cost them up to here. So objective value is normally in the mind of the seller, and it relates to cost. Put a circle on analysis of the cost. Okay. So in the residential appraisal process, both method of valuation, direct comparison and cost, are used, reflecting the school of thought, but the direct comparison approach is more heavily relied upon. So how much is going to cost you to build this house? So let's say you bought the house $3 million and now went down to $2 million. So in your mind, you think your house is $3 million, but its actual value is $2 million. So objective value is normally in mind of a seller and relates normally to cost. So the key word you need to know, analysis of cost. Did you put a circle on that? That is very important. Analysis of cost. Whenever they're talking about cost, that means objective value. And you may be wrong. Okay? So subjective value, on the other hand, it has value of a property irrespective of its cost. Put a circle on irrespective of its cost. So we don't care how much it costs you up to here. So right now, maybe you bought a property in Villadale, $3 million, but right now it's only $2 million value. So irrespective of its cost, okay, so that's a value today. This is related to market. So subjective value is normally related to market, not the cost. Normally mind of seller, and then it relates to cost. Subjective is normally in the mind of a buyer and normally relates to the market. If the market is good, they're going to pay more. If it's not good, they're not going to pay more. Value in exchange, right in front of it, it's because of its location. And I'm going to explain it to you. Value of exchange is because of its location. Not that the location is good or bad. So not that the location is good or bad. The thing is that value in exchange is going to talk about something that's valuable for you only because of the location. Let's say you buy a house next to your parents' house. Put in a bracket, parents' house. So if you buy a parents' house, you may pay more for that house. But I'm not going to pay more because I'm not going to, it's not a value for me. It's only a valuable for you. So sometimes people buy a house next to their family member, so their children or parents, and they pay more. But that's because of its location. But it's not valuable for everyone. If the location was good and it was valuable for everyone, then that's not a value in exchange. So the location is good for you only. Sometimes people buy a property next to their work, so they don't mind paying more. But that's not value for everyone. That's value for you only, because it's next to your work. Okay. The probable price at which they're going to say market value, right in front of market value, listing price. Listing price or asking price. This is a price that normally the seller is going to get for the highest price. So you're going to, you list a house and you may get that price. So this is the highest price that you could get. And they normally put 2-3% more to negotiate. Market value is listing price or asking price. Sold price is market price. That's next. So you go to the market price. That's a sold price. So market price is a sold price. What page are we talking, guys? What's the page number? 29. So right in front of the market price, sold price. Market price refers to the amount paid or to be paid for a property. So they should be close, basically. The market price should be close. Value in use. Something inside the house has value for you only, for a small group of people. Okay? Value in use. Okay? So let's say the house has a lap pool. So people that they only use that, they may pay more. Or let's say the house has 5 garages, but it's an old bungalow. So someone who's collecting the car for that house. And normally in the exam, they say the house has a handicap accessible. So lift. So that would be a value is inside the property in use. So anything inside the property, basically. So here they say the oversized pool, that it was basically, they were asking like a lot more for it. So lap pool or something like that. So principal is valuable, or for most people, or if people don't like it, most people are not going to like it. First one is anticipation, right in front of it, expectation. So you're expecting a future use, that's why you're paying more, and most people like it. An example is a walkout basement. So do you expect to pay more for a walkout basement? Yes or no? Yes. Why? No, why you pay more for a basement more? To do what? Maybe you rent it out. What else? It's a brighter basement. So you're expecting a future use. So that's called anticipation. So, and most people like it, not only you. Most people like a walkout basement. Most people like the fireplace. Most people like the house with a walkout to the backyard. Okay, so I'm not talking about only you, and you're expecting a future use. In the exam, they say you're showing a house to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and this house has a fireplace and has a walkout to the backyard. And Mrs. Smith says, okay, we're going to pay more for this house because we're going to sit in front of a fireplace, look at our backyard in the cold winter night. So they're anticipating a future use and they're paying more for it. That's called expectation, anticipation. So next is balance. Normally in the exam, they give you parking related question. They're going to say a plaza sold $6 million because it had enough parking. Similar one sold only $4 million because it didn't have parking. So one was balanced, sold for ultimate price. One wasn't, sold a lot less. So right in front of balance, normally parking related questions. Next is change. Right in front of change, economy. Economy is going to change. The houses in your area went down because they laid off 5,000 people in Oshawa. Right now it's happening in Oshawa. They're laying off a lot of people and the value of houses over there, they're dropping dramatically. Why? Because of change. Has nothing, and it's local. So maybe over there the prices go down, but in Toronto the prices go up. So change is local. Anything other than change, other than economy is not change. So you understand? Only economy. Economy is good, price go up. Economy is bad, price comes down. They are laying off people, price comes down. Competition. This is about businesses. The more competition you have for your business, the less valuable is your business. So let's say in your city there were only one pizza shop. Another one opens. So the value of yours is going down. The third one opens. The value of all of them are going to go down. Conformity, odd houses. If they're odd houses, it's going to sell, but it's going to sell a lot less. So like what? So let's say the house has a fireplace in a dining room, not in a family room. So conformity. So it's odd. If basically it's not confirming the neighborhood or not confirming that use. So they say in this neighborhood there are Victorian style houses, but your house is a modern house. So that's not confirming that area. Am I correct? It's going to sell, but it's going to sell less. Principle of progression. So a small house between big houses, right in front of it. A small house between big houses. That's going to be always good value. It's going to be very valuable. A small house between big houses. Example, bungalow between two-story houses. That's a good investment. Bungalow between two-story houses. Now, then we're going to talk about regression. Small house, big house between small houses. That's a bad investment. So, example, two-story house between bungalows. That's regression. Yep. $2 million home between townhouses. Consistent use. You cannot put a value commercial on the land and residential on the house. That's against the consistent use. You cannot put a land value commercial but the house value residential. Or you cannot put a land value on a single family and a house multiple family like condos. So it has to be the same basically value. Contribution. Anything you did in a house for yourself, so it's contribution. Right in front of it, done by the owner for the owner. So anything you did for your house yourself, and it's done by the owner for the owner. So let's say you finish the basement for yourself, and that's going to add value. But you spend 40 grand, but only add 20 grand. That is contribution. Care. Why? Because, for example, here they say you put 18,000, but only added 55. So you don't care. You did it for you. External factor. Anything other than economy, like crime. Right in front of it, crime. Right in front of it, pollution. So they open a factory next to your house. Backing to cemetery. Backing to basically hydro line, backing to train. So these are external factors that's going to affect your property negatively. Some people, they say, I like a house backing to cemetery, but most people don't. Some people, I had that case. They say, oh, my neighbors are quiet. I don't care. So, highest and best use. So if you change the zoning and the value of the whole property is going to increase. That's highest and best use. So you change the zoning and the value of your property is going to increase. Increasing and decreasing of return. Right in front of this, done by investor, renovator, builder for return. So anything in a house done by the renovator, builder for return. So if they do enough, then the return is going to increase. They're doing it to sell it. They're doing it to invest in it. So an investor, builder, renovator. So if they do too much, the return is going to go down. An example is, I'm building a house in Richmond Hill. With one garage, it's going to sell $800,000. It's going to cost me $10,000 to build the second garage. So then it's going to sell how much? $850. So that's increasing. Am I correct? The third garage is going to be $870. So it's not like the second one, but still increasing. The fourth garage is going to be only $5,000 more. So increasing and decreasing. If you do too much, it's going to decrease. If you do enough, it's going to increase. Substitution. So this is very similar to anticipation. Let's say the walkout basement. One has a walkout basement, the other one doesn't. But they are the same price. Which one are you going to buy? But what if I tell you the walkout basement is 5 years old? The one without the walkout basement is 4.5 years old, 6 months younger than that. You're still going to buy a walkout, substituting it being 6 months older, but have what most people like. Basically, buyers have a choice. So if your basement has a walkout basement, and there's another one which has a walkout basement too, but it is the same price, but it's a little bit older but has a better price, or is the same price, that is they're going to buy that. They're not going to buy the one that you have and it's more price for it. So that is called substitution. They're going to substitute being a little bit older but have what most people like. But they don't pay more. If they pay more, it's anticipation. International law, supply and demand. More supply, price goes down. More demand, price goes up. This is normally, they're going to give you scenarios that a lot of buyers, they had to put the house on market, or a lot of sellers, basically they're selling their houses, so that type of thing. So the supply is more, the price goes down. Surplus productivity. So here, the net income remains after all expenses is going to determine the value of your business. You buy a Tim Horton for $1 million. There are 20 people working, but you could manage with 10. At the end of the year, you're paying less wages. That's why you have more net. So if you have more net, you could sell your business more because of better management. Surplus productivity. Done with this chapter. So, guys, normally the long weekends I don't have class, but next weekend I'm going to have class, so you can come Sunday.
On Easter Sunday?
Mm-hmm. You coming?
Don't you need a day off too?
Basically what happened, it's been 13 years, I haven't had long weekends teaching. But this weekend, because Lily asked me, said, Bob, the students, they have exam, they have to teach. So I don't want to teach, but I have to teach. Because Lily said you have to teach. Same time. 3 o'clock. I'm going to teach 3 o'clock, and what's happening is I'm going to finish the book. So let's open that beautiful handout of yours and see if you guys practice. I have an answer. Go ahead. Give me a page number, question number.
Page number 30, question 47. I did it like 3 times.
Don't worry about it. So just give me the page number 30, 47, you said?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what's the question?
So it says calculate the estimated value of the subject property using the GIM.
Gross income multiplier. You need the gross income multiplier. So how do you calculate the property value by gross income multiplier? What's the formula?
GIM equals sold over effective.
No. Well, how do you calculate the value of a property using GM? So this is the question here. Calculate the value of a property using a gross multiplier. No. That's not gross income multiplier. Overall rate. So what is this? So you got to understand. Go to the stand up. Here, this is the pen. You're gonna go right down over there on the chart. So where did it go? So 47. So yeah. So they give you the effective gross. So put a line under effective gross income of this property is this. So that's effective gross. So go. That's it. So that's effective gross. So multiply that by GM. So write down here effective gross. Effective. Multiply GM gives you the value. So that's what you have to do. So did you understand how do you calculate the effective gross? But you don't have the GIM. You have the effective gross is given to you, but you don't have the GIM. So here, one of the comparables, you have to find a GIM for that. So how do you get the GIM? Write down here GIM, okay, is sold price divided by effective. So now you don't have the effective. You have the net operating income and you have the expenses here. Am I correct? So first thing you have to do, because effective gross minus expense is going to give you NOI. So on the other hand, so write down here where the hand is, NOI plus expense is going to give you effective. So first add those together. So NOI is given to you 993. So here, write down under here 993. Yeah, 993, 543. So what is the expenses? 509, 802 plus 509, 802. Use the calculator. Tell me how much is that. You see the calculator on the wall? So could you put zero? Could you start it? Yeah. So 993, 543 plus 508, 509. You could go back. You could go back with the arrow. You see the arrow on the bottom left? So 50. So go back. Okay. 509, 803. 509, 803. 803 or 2. I'm sorry. Go back one. 802. So 802. So push equal. So write that number down. So write it here. Write equal here. You see here equal? So write that down. So that's effective of this comparable. Am I correct? So write in equal. Put equal here. So first write the sold price. 10 million on top. That's a sold price. 10,734.000. 000, 3 zeros. Okay. Put a line under that. And then put that number here. 1,503,345 over there. So, and then now divide that. So you erase everything. Yeah. So go ahead. 10 million. Sorry. 734,000 divide by 1,503,345 equal. So that's going to be 7.14. So write down here 7.14. 7.14. So you got that from comparable. And you only have to do one. All of them are going to be 7.14. So you don't have to do 2 and 3. So hold on. And here, effective gross is given to you. You see here? Write that here. 1 million. Write it here. 1,432,625 multiplied by equal. How much is that? Equal 1 million. Okay, so 10 million 200. So here erase this one. So you see on the right. So erase that one. Yeah. So you could. It doesn't matter. So erase the 10. So erase everything over there and then put 10 at the beginning. 10 million. Okay, you went. So erase that one. Yeah. Okay. Go with the smaller one. You see the small here? Okay. So 10 million 200. So which one is the answer? So if you go to the answers, so it's going to be 10,229,000. You make a mistake. So now, why you are making a mistake and why I made you come over there and write it? Because put a highlighter. So put a highlighter. So you need to know the formula. So highlight this one. Effective. So if you remember that they're asking how to get the value, so you have to get the effective, which is already given to you, multiply by GIM, but they don't give you the GIM. So to get the GIM, highlight this number, this one. So you have to know, you highlight that one. So from here to here and the effective. So you have to get the sold price divided by the effective. But here they did not give you the effective. So highlight this one. So NOI plus expense is going to give you the effective. So you need to know those 3 formulas to put them inside and get the answer. Yes? No, I'm sorry that I asked you to stand, but I just wanted you to, be a little bit proactive because I've done this like several times with you. And what's happening, you go home and because I'm doing it, you're just writing it down. You're not getting it. So this time, I know you got it.
was getting the 7.14, but I was doing the top part wrong.
Yes, so that's why, because,
That's why I was
so write it down, write it down. So what's your question? Did you get it?
Wait a minute.
If I haven't explained this to you, so you're not going to get it. If you're done, if you don't have a question, in Turkish we say hoş geldiniz.
Geneva for Olaf is the same. But
Huh?
Geneva for Olaf is the same. Also.
All of them are going to be the same 7.14. So don't waste your time for the 2 and 3. You know, you remember you were complaining about my handwriting? You know, it's hard to write on a. You're writing basically on a with the light. Okay, so yeah. What's your question, Brampton? Let's go 39. Cell number 2, 39. So we already. I haven't erased it. Come on, write it down. 39. Number 2, you said. So let's go to the 39. Cells number 2 we're going to do. So this one, you want the answer? Which one did you answer? No, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. The answer is 1369. But we're going to do the 2. So are you done writing? Okay. So I'm going to do it here. How much is sold? 789. So page 25, we are doing the question 39. We are doing the second one. 789 is sold. Okay, how much is a land value? So 789,000 minus 355,000. Okay, so they give you that. So minus 31,000. How much is that? How much? Come again? I'm sorry. 403,000. So 789,000 minus 395,000 minus 31,000 is going to be 363,000. So maybe you made a mistake here. 789,000 minus 355,000 minus 31,000 is going to be, I'm sorry, 403,000. I made a mistake. So 403,000. Okay, so so and then they say, so this is a building value. So basically what we did, sold price minus land value minus other improvement, we got the building value. So we have to do time adjustment for this one. And how long ago this one sold? 7 months ago. So each month it is 0.25%, the price went down. So 7 multiplied by that is 1.75% minus. So you have to do the time adjustment first. So here, so basically you have to say minus 1.75%. Minus 1.75% because the price was declining. So that's going to be 395,947.50. Okay. So then this is a time adjustment basically. Now, then they tell you that this one, okay, the only single difference is that was building enjoyed the presence of a main two-piece washroom. You don't have a two-piece. Your subject. This one has. What's the value of two-piece washroom? So minus 10,000. how much is that? So 385, 947.50. Yeah? There's no other adjustment. Okay. So hold on. They give you the meter. Multiply by meter, how much is going to be that? So let's do that. So 12.9 multiplied by 42.8. So that's going to be 500. Am I correct? Let's do it one more time. So 12.9 multiplied by 42.8. So that's going to be 552.12 a square meter. So this, yeah. So here they said the only significant difference between a building and is the two. So it means that this one has a 3 fireplace too. Because the only difference between this and yours is a main the two pieces main washroom. That's what they say. Where do you see that fireplace? You have a fireplace or not, it doesn't matter. They say this is the same as a subject. The only difference is that it doesn't have a main, it has a main washroom. Exactly. So, and then you divide this by 552.12. So 385, 947.50 divided by 552.12. And that's going to be, I made a mistake somewhere. No, that's a mistake. That's not. So it's 3 something. Here they give you the square meter. What did I do? I'm sorry, my bad. So this is about the build land. This is extra information. So you don't need this. They already give you the square meter. So divide by square meter. You have to divide by that. I made it. So divide by 282. So 385, 947.50 divided by 282. So that's 1368.6. So this is almost 1369. A. Is it the A?
Oh, we got 16 and 8, yeah.
So the next question, 40.
8.
What are you waiting? You can go. Done. في أمان الله. Guys in Brampton, make sure you close the door and make sure it's locked. Because yesterday they left it open. I had to come over there and lock it. You have equipment over there. It can be unlocked. So make sure from the back you turn that and it's closed. So it's locked.
Rest of the book.
Rest of the